Families and Relationships YouTube channel. So, good day, viewers. Welcome to the Families and Relationships YouTube channel, and I want to tell you Happy New Year. Today, we have a couple with us, and we're going to be interviewing the couple and discussing about families and relationship with them. I am very certain that you are going to benefit from their experiences in their marriage. So, come along as we start the interview. Good day, sir. Can you introduce yourself, sir?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Awotunde Joseph Bamidele, a lecturer at the University of Ilorin Computer Science Department.
Okay, ma'am. Please speak up. Please speak loud so that the camera can pick your voice very well.
Good day, sir. My name is Awotunde Junisola Janet from Landmark University.
Okay, to the left, to my.
Good day, lovely viewers. I'm Mrs. Adetitun.
Yeah, thank you, viewers at home. My name is Dr. Adetitun, and I'm the host on this YouTube channel, Families and Relationships. The aim of this interview is to get insights into different people's marriages. There's no one clear-cut dimension or formula for any marriage. Different marriage partners have different views and different ways they make things to work. In our previous video, I showed us, I did a video in India where I interviewed an Indian family and they shared a lot of things about life in India, marriage in India, and other things. And it was very, very enlightening. I will leave the link of that video in the description section of this video. Now, I want to find out from this couple that first of all, I want to thank them for coming. I want to ask you, sir, can you tell us about how you met mommy, how you met your wife, sir? Please speak out to the camera.
Okay, it was so interesting anyway. I met her through my middle sister. They went to the same college of education. And luckily enough, there was a sister that they go to the same school then. So I think that evening she came to say hi to Rebecca that evening. And immediately I saw her. I said, wow, this is my wife. That's what I can just say. And my sister then said, for her to say, this is my wife, because virtually they don't know any lady with me there. They said, wow, she's my friend, and she started saying a lot of things about her. But it was so funny that when I first of all get to her and I say, I have interest and some other things like that, it took us almost 10 years before she said yes. But since then, the Lord has been so faithful to us.
Almost 10 years.
Yes.
Was it, let me just learn that and for viewers. From the time you saw her and you had interest in her to the time you got married, or from the time she said yes, 10 years. Does it mean you are not really ready for marriage when you set your eyes on her, but you were interested?
That's an interesting question. Then what I have in mind then is to get married. Immediately I finished my ND, but invest took over the situation. One, purposely because she didn't say yes then. And it get to a point that I started doubting that, is it true that she's my wife or not? It gets to a point, I think what really helped me, let me just cut it short, is that I prayed one prayer. I said, God, it's like this lady that you said is my wife is not going to be my wife, because all the time I always call with discourage, but at the end of the day, it's always no. So it gets to a point that I feel discouraged. But what Holy Spirit puts in my mind there is that I should pray a prayer that whoever that's going to be my wife should be the first person to say yes. And I think that's what really helped me. Because I can really say that apart from what I talked to about 3 or 4 ladies too, Even within me, I know they have the interest, but the answer is always no, no. So until that fateful night, and she called, I can't forget, it's around 10 in the evening. Midnight, okay. I know it's late anyway. I know it's late. She called. Then all these night calls, free night calls.
Yeah, the free night call.
Never that we didn't say yes to each other. We do call, I do call her, we do talk and some other things like that. But that fateful day, she said, yes, I'm ready to marry you. But before I stopped there, I think after that very night, the following month, the 2-3 months, about other 3 ladies start saying yes, yes.
After she said
yes,
wow.
that's just the truth. About 3 or 4. In fact, there was one of them that the pastor had to call me. Now, is this when you call and the person say no? And that's it. I said that, but I didn't need to force her and get another person that I want to marry.
Wow.
So I think praying that prayer to say, whoever that I'm going to marry should say yes, is what really helped me. If not,
at the point when she said yes, what you said you are doing your MD when you first saw her.
No, I'll finish my MD.
When she said yes, what was
I'm doing my degree there.
Okay,
At
you are
Footman. Yes, I think I'm in final year.
The very year that he talked to me was the year that he got the admission.
To Footman, yes.
Okay, so in his final year, you not said yes.
No, it's a even finished.
This is my final year.
It's like that means. Does it mean that that is proving what some people used to say, that women are attracted to men that have promise? Maybe don't hear ND, she said that you didn't have promise. Then during the final year in Putin, I said that I really to Paris is almost going to the service and getting a job.
Anyway, she can be the one to answer that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because the very first time that it talked to me, it was like I just finished, and I was in NCE 2.
Oh.
And my thought is that after my NCE, I'll further my education with direct entry. So at that point, I don't have interest in marriage.
Okay.
That's why that during that period, my pastor gave me prayer points to be praying about marriage. But personally, I don't have interest in marriage at that time. That was the reason for the delay. And again, I have my own taste that this is the type of person that I want to marry as a young lady. That time. Even after I got admission to UI, anytime he called me, people would say that this man that always trouble you, Brother Dele, I will fight them like anything. That what is your concern? After all, you don't know this person. But as I got to 400 level, I was serious about it. I now praying that God, let only your will be done in my life and my marriage. And thank God for one Muslim lady that we are living together at that time. 7 o'clock, we have slept, and we continue prayer. 12 o'clock, throughout the midnight, we were prayer. I know that was the reason why God intervened about it, because even I can remember it was around 1 a.m. midnight that I said yes. Even that yes, I couldn't say it directly. I said, let God will be done. I know I will marry you. So that's how we started the journey.
Okay, so between the time you said yes and the time you married, how long was that again? Did you take time or it was...
To say yes. Anytime he talks to me, actually I'll tell him that he should go and pray about it. And personally, I know that I was not praying about anything. I was praying about marriage generally, but not about him. Though I felt it's that there's something in him that is not the someone that I should say yes to, and tomorrow I will say no, because I can see the seriousness in him. So, but everything, because and the only thing I can say that God knows about everything. Because if I've said yes immediately, we may not marry each other. Because as a young boy and young lady,
something
may come up that will not make it end in marriage.
Thank you very much. So how many years have you been married now?
And this will be the 14th year.
14th year.
And this will be
This year will be the
14.
14 years. That's 7 years. 7 times 2, 14 years. That's a long one. That's a great experiences that you must have had. Now, I want to find out between the time she said yes and the time we actually got married, how long was it?
I think that would be around 3 years.
3 years.
Just, I'm in foot in the final year. Then after that, I go for NYC. After NYC, I go back to Maron. She's still doing a final year then at UI. And after she's finished, within 3 or 4 years, I can't really remember.
After NYC, you went to Maron for...
Yes,
for work.
my family, my senior sister I'm living with is in Omaran. Luckily, whenever we go, the two of us still met in Omaran. So she go to school, come back to Maran. I go to school, come back to Maran. So we often see each other during all the day and something like that. But I think after years, it should be around 4 years before we got married.
Wow. That's a great one. Thank you for lending your voice and sharing your experiences with us. I'm sure that 1 or 2 people among our viewers are going to benefit and are going to be learning from these experiences that we are seeing. Now, the question I want to ask, you have been married for 14 years. What are some of the challenges? Definitely, or some people said, marriage, you must fight too. It's like somebody that is learning how to drive a car, that you must hit something. You must hit the car against something before you learn. Because when you hit it against something, you keep learning, you keep driving, then you avoid that error. In your marriage, have you had issues of challenges, maybe fight or quarrel or anything?
I think before that, I think what really helped our wedding is preparation before wedding. I always say jokingly to some people, I have the privilege of talking to that. The night call then is purposely because the two of us.
The what?
The night call we
Okay.
It's night call
The free MTN.
Free MTN night call then.
Midnight.
Midnight call.
They've called it.
Yes.
They've stop it now.
Yeah, since. So why do I say that is that we, after he said yet, we normally have a day every week that we normally pray together, we fast and we pray together. And we do that continuously for the period till we get married. So I think that solid really helped the marriage. But after the marriage, as human being, number one thing, we are not from the same family. The character, the behavior definitely is not going to be the same. Definitely we have series of misunderstanding, but the Lord has been helping us. And one thing I take note and still be a way of helping us is that we have never fight and call an outsider to hear even the more my parents are parents. We have never for once. Anyway, don't let me say that, but she may discuss, but for me, I've never called anybody and said, this is what happened between me and my wife. So I think, but for us to say we didn't fight, no, a lot. But God has been helping us.
No, I used to teach on this channel that third parties should be avoided in marriage.
About the third party, I can remember before we got married, there was a day that we had misunderstanding before marriage, and he stayed with her sister, and that her sister want to call me into the matter, and she said no, she doesn't want any third partner. He doesn't want any third partner if I'll be the one that he will married, and that end everything. And since that day till now, none of the family member, both his side and my side, will call any of us that are you having quarrel or what is going on in your marriage? Because even as we got married, like 8 months after, I think, that I was not conceived, nobody was able to come into our marriage and ask any question from me or from him. because of the laying down from the beginning.
Yeah.
And because of what he said that day, I also have that in mind, that it's not a good thing to have third partner in the marriage. Because if I should and anytime that he did anything for me, no matter how hot it is, I will not like to tell another partner, because of the time that I will forgive him, my people will never forgive. They will never forget.
Yeah.
And they may have him in mind. It's better I talk it to God, or have it in mind alone that I will forgive, or later tell him that this is what he did for me. Because if I should tell any of my people that anybody hurt me, even before now, I know how they will react, because we love each other. So to call them back and tell them that this thing is not like this again, it will be very, very difficult. And that will even cause the relationship between my family and him to have, it will not be smooth like before again, even while me and him will have settled the matter.
So, Mrs. Adetitun, do you want to add to that on third party issue?
I don't really believe in involving third party in marriage or family matters, but at times there are some issues that you need someone to come in, and maybe you have been trying to resolve the case, and it's as if something is resolvable now. So at times we need, but it's not ideal. It's not a good thing to allow third party. And we have some third party that they are God-fearing and they know how to handle things, but involving third party, I don't think is it's because this one we want to take side. That one knows. Especially when it comes to family, you are involving the husband side or the wife side. They want to side their own, which can result to a serious issue at the end of the day. So
I think from my own point of view, and that is part of what I teach on the Families with Families and Relationship YouTube channel. I teach that couples should try to manage their differences themselves. I look at it as a man, and that affects me in my own place of work too. Most times I have challenges with some students. They are my students. They came to me to learn, but the way they are doing is somehow. So but I cool down. In fact, sometimes I see the student that they know that I'm cooling down because they've seen other people too. So I think the same thing in marriage. And that's what I teach on my YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel, that couples should try. The man especially. The wife will try to, sometimes women, but the man should try. And I'm happy that just what I teach on this channel is what you also are practicing. I have somebody that I work closely with. The person said, funniest thing, the person is very younger to me in age, but we work together. The person said she does not discuss anything with her party, that for 3 days, her and her husband may be having issue, things are not smooth. After 3 days, they'll settle it, they continue their journey. They don't report to anybody, and I think that period helps them to understand themselves. So the woman learns what the man likes, the man learns what the woman likes. And we're talking about 14 years marriage now. A lot of experiences you have known, okay. So during that time that you are reporting to third party, is the time you're supposed to be learning each other and we understand each other because you are from different background. Now, during that time of on the way, everybody is still hiding some things. They have not come together. But when you come together now, you now see the true color of everybody. And now when those differences start showing, that's the time to start learning, okay, this is how this person does, okay, this is what I will do. When you want to know that you go and change the person, as somebody say, you can't change anybody. So you are not going to go and change the person. But you have to adapt and then see how you can help the person to see things the way you see it. The way you see it is good. The way the person sees it is also good. Like I said, some people will say their wife does not know how to cook soup. Whereas that soup the wife is cooking is how she's cooking in her father's house. And the father, everybody is saying you are the best cook. Please help me to do that food. Now you don't come to your own house. Baby, the way they are cooking your own house is different from that way. You are now saying doesn't know how to cook. So when you now tell the family or the father that this you don't know how to cook, they'll be looking at it. Our best cook does not know how to cook. What do you mean? But the only thing is that the way you like to fry things, this other person like to boil things. This person like to use this person. So during that time that couples are together, that's the time to understand themselves and to see how they can do things together. Like when I personally got married, I don't like when you are making frying egg, you'll be doing the egg chaka. I like you just pour the oil, it's hot, do the egg and pour it. Let it spread, then turn it. As you turn it like that, just carry it like that, put it on the listen. But my wife does not like that. She likes to break it. What kind of breakage is this? And I say, please, let me come and do my egg. And I said, no fight, I won't fight. So I come and do my egg. So she now saw how I'm doing it. So now she has become master in that style now. So I think viewers, that's how couples should learn. That differences that you see is a learning curve, learning process. So I want to also ask.
Before you go forward, I just want to say something with what Mommy said. I think the best of all couples is to try as much as possible to avoid third party. Maybe even the pastor is not the best. With my personal experience, because the truth is that your pastor, our pastor in the church, whether you like it or not, is human being. He may love me than my wife. So no matter what I discuss with her, he will try as much as possible to please me. If on the other way around, she will try as much as possible to please my wife. So the best solution in every marriage is to make sure that the two of you solve your problem. Why, when the problem is being solved, like rightly my wife said, they will no more be there. And you won't be able to explain how the problem is being solved. I think that has been the best, and that's what God has been using. Because the truth is that within these 4 years, there are a lot of things that have happened between the two of us that if the third party, especially our family or my family here, can destroy the marriage. That's just the truth. Because they want to side their mother, wife. Hey, why is your husband? Is it there? If it is me too, they want to side me. But by the grace of God, we are able to manage it, and God is still helping us up to today.
Now, I want us to talk about money in marriage. Money in marriage. Today, you see people money. I think money is a major issue in marriage. So, how do you handle money in marriage? How do you handle money? Some people said, how do you handle money in marriage? When you got married, were you two of you working, or one person was working? And then how do you
From the beginning, I think the two of us, no matter how the two is anyway, the two of us has been working, but we have been managing our money separately. But if you want to spend any money, the two parties must be involved. That's just it. The two parties must be involved. And thank God for our life. If our parents or family from our side is around, she make sure that no matter, even if she's going to be the one to give me the money, I'm going to be the one to present it. And in my own case, I want to try it, that she should be the one to give, but she's from a Yoruba, she don't want to feel bad, so she still believe that I should still be the one to give. But how the same, both the two families, whether they like it or not, you know that this thing comes from the two of us. It's just recently we want to try to try a common purse that at least we'll be saving part of the money. But unfortunately, the bank up till now, we're unable to do that. But I pray by God grace this year, we should be able to do that. But we have been managing our money separately, but I don't think there is anything any one of us will buy that we won't know about it. Then secondly, when it comes to the issue of house, I bought things in bulk. But after that, mangi, any other thing, if it is finished, and most of you know, she's the one staying with the children. Buy some things, I don't normally care about it, except if I'm around. Daddy, bring this, dear, bring this. But the Lord has been helping us in time of finance, and I can boldly say that she's truly a helping hand in that direction. She has never given me any problem. We have never have any reason to fight when it comes to the issue of money. No. The only thing I didn't tell that. The only thing I want to say here is that it's always good. I've never discussed this with her. I'm saying it because of the fuel. It's always good to let your wife know how much you are taking. It helps the marriage. Why? Because if the person don't know, the pressure on you will be much. If the money is even not in your hand, she will believe you are still harding half of it. She will believe, but immediately she know how much you are taking, then I don't think there will be any problem. Even the person would think within her head that with what you have bought, we have done this, we have done that, the money will have been finished. But if they don't know, there is tendency that there will be pressure on what you don't have. So it's always good.
Thank you very much. On that, on making one's wife to know how much one is earning, there's a individual who says that when you tell your wife how much you are earning, and the wife is asking for more than what you are earning, you say that wife is not a wife, she's a knife.
Yes.
But that is when you have already told her. But some people don't tell their partner how much they're earning, and then they go, it affects their relationship and their marriage. And in talking about marriage and what one is earning, in Nigeria today, are you looking at the way, I'm just asking for our viewers, is salary enough for the family? Salary people are earning, is it enough to take care of the
Anyway,
family?
my wife
Or one should be able to do
we
something,
want to see
want to do some,
have
have some side hustle, maybe small farm, maybe something to just help. Because the way it is, the expensive things, everything, I think the pressure is more on the family now, on feeding and especially
even
feeding.
before Tinubu problem, we are still having pressure. Unlike what we are
Nothing to talk
passing
about.
through now. But God has been faithful. Is it not just yesterday we are discussing it that if not for God, salary would have been no. Salary can't and will never be enough. When they are saying increase in salary, the more the money is increased,
The more
the
the
more
adjustment
the resulting is, the more the demanding that people comes in there, especially in this part of the world we are. When they see that you are a doctor, they think that
They think that
you are everything. So, but the truth is that sir, the money salary can never be enough. And
So
God has been faithful.
if salary is not
That's
enough, what do you advise couples to do? Let's say the two from the husband and wife are salary earners. What can they then do to help themselves? What do you?
I think let God direct. In our own case, I don't think we have any. We have never sat down and said, "Let's do this business or not." But what I have in mind is just that sometimes when you plan, God have His own plan for you. What I have in mind is that my wife is an agriculturalist, so I said I was able to build a personal house in Ilorin. I would just ask her to stop working and start doing agric, raising bells, doing this and that. I know with that you won't have any problem. But if you want to do that, it must be on your personal land, not in a place you are rented. So up to now, that is not materialized. But apart from that, it's only adjunct lecturer, doing this, doing some businesses and some other things like that. But the truth is that God has been faithful.
God just have a way.
He just have a way
to
of
work
meeting
things
our needs.
Yeah.
But left for salary, the salary of what the two of us are taking cannot take 30% of our family needs. That's just the truth. It can't.
Yeah, when you said God, I agree with you. But when I was on my PhD, I was the ones paying
My school fees.
money for materials I used and many other things from the salary. And when the things get tight, somebody will just come that they need an organism. And I have the organism that I'm working on, and they need that organism. I say, fine, bring so amount. So I'll do it. There's a way I get the blood, I do it. They'll bring the container, I just do it, and I leave it. They just come and carry it, and they go. And that's how. And anytime I'm getting broke like that time, somebody will come like that and they want to do that thing. So that one will carry me again for some time before salary comes. So now, let's talk about children. What are the challenges in raising children? There are the challenges in raising children, and does that challenge affect the relationship between the husband and the wife? What has been your experience?
Anyway, maybe because I'm a Christian and I believe in Him, God has been helping us. But the major challenge I see is that I pray this year there will be an end to read is that living separately is really affecting the children. The truth is that the way a woman will take care of children and the way she will talk and the children will definitely be different from the way the man will talk. But the truth is that she's an iron lady. That sometimes she will be shouting, I will be say, "Dear Timmy, you didn't even talk. You are just looking at me." But immediately it's just anything, she corrects, and sometimes I feel talk and some other things. And what made me normally like that is that when I grew up, I discovered that it's not always beating before you can correct a child, but it's what I'm used to. So I'm not the type that so easily correct child without beating. So the best for me, in order to avoid that, is sometimes to always restrain. I'm saying that to her now. She didn't know that, but that's the main reason. But if I talk to you the first, the second, and the third time, if you are close with me, I will deal with you. But I discovered the children of nowadays and some other things is not like that. But God has been really faithful in that direction. She's up to the task. Maybe she's the one that 80% of the time the children is always with her. But sometimes I'm around too. I always put my force into it. And thank God for the children too. They have never been a troublesome child. So they are playing, do this and some that. Apart from that, God has been helping us.
So viewers at home, you are onto the Families and Relationships YouTube channel, where we talk about family love and relationship in the home. And today we are interviewing Dr. and Mrs. Awotunde, and they have been with us for the past few minutes that we have been discussing with them. And I believe that you are getting value for your time. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button, just a click right below, and also like this video, and also share the link of this video with your family and with your friends. Now, I want to find out from you, what is your view about divorce? There are some families that they divorce and everybody goes their own way. I know you don't have experience in divorce because you are still together, and I believe that you are not going to have that experience yet. But at least once you are in marriage, you've seen issues of divorce. What do you say about divorce?
My wife will talk, but my own perspective, I think my whole perspective about that is that the first thing that my wife can bear me witness about that, maybe my upbringing with my father and my mother. They are couple that I know they live. So the first thing I did after my wedding is that I said, God, if this is the way my father and my mother live, and I don't want to live that way, I have to let my wife know that. Don't provoke me to a level that will raise up my mind.
I didn't get that. Can you?
I said, my father and my mother, the way they live, when we are with them, I didn't pray to have that. It's a long story. Another story. They have their own differences. What make that happen? So I make up my mind that what can make this happen is that to do this and to do this. And the first thing I did is that I've told me that with my experience, naturally as a normal person, beating a wife should not be a new thing to me. It should be a normal thing. But I said, no, I don't want to do that. And I talked to my wife that, please don't do anything that will lead to me beating you. Because the day I raise up my mind and I beat you, that's the end of this marriage. It may not be the end, but that's the level I want to take it to. And that's been the consciousness that if there is any problem, the first thing that will come to my mind is this, that no, don't do that, because this is what you said, and you can't go back on
what you said.
On what you said. And in the first place, why do you want to divorce? Because two are one. So anything that happened to me happened to her. So it means that if you say you want to divorce, you are cutting yourself into two. So I didn't even dream it, and I don't see it coming in my own diary anyway.
So what advice do you have for couples that are thinking or planning to divorce because maybe the wife is doing something the
truth is that, sir, my wife, I want you to talk to her. The truth is that there is no perfect marriage. We should learn that there is no perfect marriage, number one. Number two, there is perfect marriage, but the devil don't want a perfect marriage. He will try as much as possible to destroy every home. So it's the couple now that will fight it. You can imagine you are just sit down in your own sitting room laughing, and the next thing something just happened and the whole environment disarray. That's to tell you that the devil don't want that marriage to succeed. So any couple that is thinking about that, or if you are going, and the truth is that even if you said you want to have freedom, can you really have a freedom? If you are a woman, another person will still be disturbing you. And if at the end of the day you still go and marry another person, sir, how are you going to show that you are going to have happiness in that marriage? So it's better to stay with the one you know. You always said that we retain your team on. That's But I still want my wife to let her first.
You have said it all, but what's about the divorce is personal determination. Like me, we are saying that we said it this afternoon, just this afternoon, that even at secondary school, I usually look at people around within the Omara community that I did. That, God, I don't want my marriage to be like this. So they said that sometimes I asked my mother that, why is it like this relationship like this? Why is it that this marriage is like this? Sometimes she will ask me to keep quiet, that are you from the same family or from the same mother, that I should just be praying about what I want in marriage. So I never think about anything called divorce in marriage. And I know by the grace of God it will not be my portion. And the major thing is that we should learn how to forgive one another, because sometimes your partner can make you get angry to the extent of think that it's better you stay alone than to be living with this type of man. But someone just, and although it's for children of God mostly, because if you have the heart for God, you will not even think about divorce your husband or your wife. But it should be personal. It should be personal determination that I will not. Just as what we said the other time, that we should not allow the third party into our marriage. So when the issue happens between the husband and wife, it is better to settle it within yourself. It is better to settle it. And when you are an angry, serious one, just allow God to come into your heart. Allow God. Speak it out to God. You can even be alone in the room. Speak it as if you are praying that, God, this is what I'm passing through. Before you know it, that thing will relieve you and everything will be over. Just as my husband said, that people can be rejoicing and be doing everything, and suddenly something else will come up and things will start. You will know definitely that it's not ordinary. So devil does not want any marriage to work, but it's only you that you determine that this marriage must work. If you divorce this Mr. A, the Mr. B that you are going to, what will happen there?
The character of you don't know.
And someone that you know now, that you are seeing around, that this is a lovely family, this is a lovely man, it may not be like that if you marry each other, because even the person will see your own bad attitude. Someone that is looking at you, she can sing very well, she can dance, is that the end of marriage? You will still, there will be time that you will be together at home when individual character will now be coming up. So, and those character may be something that you will even not like at all, but it's better to determine that this marriage must work. There's nothing that can make someone divorce in life that we cannot work it over, that we can work it out. If your husband is doing something terrible, very bad habits, you can change the man. And if the man is not ready to change, you can calm down yourself, that whatever the person is doing, you just be looking. Before you know it, with prayer, the person will come back to your own level, and everything will work out.
Yeah, thank you very much. Next question I want to ask, my mind, as you were talking, my mind went to some books. Some people said, if you want to get married, you should read some marriage books, books on marriage. Before you get married, do you read any book on marriage? That's just...
Yes, I remember before I worked with Living Faith Church for some years, so I read most of the Living Faith marriage books. I think for almost 4 or 5 years, I worked with them at one as a secretary. Then I remember when we went to get married, we did counseling in the church too, at our church, in their own church and our church, and they gave us books to read and summarize. So even if I thought you didn't read before, that one you have to read.
Like me, I was in MFM. I was an MFM member during that time, and what we are trained for is about prayer. I have plenty book for marriage. I have pray for your husband. That I was even thinking that if I pray for myself, as how I prayed for my husband, I know my level should not be the way it is now, because I have prayed for your husband that I usually carried about to pray every night just for my husband. Pray for your husband how you want your home to be.
Thank you very much. Okay.
About divorce and the determinations and the like, I think with what Daddy said, is like, maybe I should ask this question on that before is it that is the man that will determine that this marriage must work, or the two of them? Because the reason why I'm asking that is because when you said you make based on your background and everything, so you made up your mind that no, what's happened between your parents, you will not allow such. So because when myself and my husband were coming, he made mention of something, and I said, because you did that when you were young, are you not expecting your child to go through that also? But based on what you said, is it that the man will be the one to make up his mind that this marriage must work, or the two of them?
Thank you. I think the first thing is that let's pray that God give us our own wife. That's the basics. If I look at it, I want to see it in the perspective that if you look at majority of people that divorce nowadays, two things may happen. It may not be true, but with my own personal perspective. One, maybe they are not ready for marriage before getting married. Number one. Number two, maybe the wife or the husband is not their ordained wife or husband. Now, it should be two way forward. If I determined and God don't give me my own wife, she will be disturbing me on to the level that I will have to beat her. You understand me? So, but unknowingly to her, to me, she's preparing herself for marriage. So, you understand? We have never called ourselves to set ourselves down and be discussing this. But with what she said now, she said she has been praying, she has been asking series of questions. Are we together? There are a lot in Yoruba community. I don't know your area. There are so many things that happen that if you don't determine you will not have a successful marriage. Now, for example, let me give you an example. Like in our own area, my wife should be able to call all my siblings, auntie, brother, this, that. But within me, within me, I know that it won't happen. They can respect themselves. They can do this. But there are some level that won't allow them to go. But I don't need to sat my wife down and start explaining this. From her background, from where she's coming to, I just need to start telling her to do this. What I didn't even expecting her to do, she's doing it. Calling them brother, auntie, this and that, and some other things. That's why I said, if you marry your own wife, the problem of thinking of divorce will not become. We fight, man. We have issues, but God has been helping us.
So everything is now rely on God.
Yes.
God should be the center.
Let God be the center of that marriage. There is, I've said it, like one of my pastors, Pastor Marco Jola is retired now in LA. We worked together for 5 years. He also said, Joseph, there is no agent when it comes to marriage. When my pastor wants to cancel any lady, he will open. Even if I'm outside, he will call me. Joseph, come and sit down and say, you understand now? So the one day I have the goodness of God. He said, kò sí ẹ̀mí mímọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin àti ọkùnrin o. The only ẹ̀mí mímọ́ is to guide yourself right. So that's it. But I keep on emphasizing because of people that are hearing us. There is no marriage that you won't have misunderstanding. There is no. But the only thing is that let's allow the ability to settle it
amicably.
Amicably. There are sometimes, this is my word, there are sometimes that 3, 4 days, 5 days we may not be happy, but the children will not know that. And the funniest thing about our marriage is that when we are not happy to each other, everything around us suffers, spiritually, physically. So until when we are ready to come, then every that closed door will now start open again. One just happened about last month in December. That in the morning after we pray, we do whatever we do. He said, "Dear, you hurt me, and I forgive you." And that very morning, the work worth of 300,000 just opened. You understand what I'm trying to say? If not because of that, that will not happen. And I don't know that I offend her. I know, but I think she has forgiven me. But that very morning, she uttered that, and within 5-4 hours, look at what God did. So I pray that Lord will help us.
Amen. So thank you for your insights on divorce and on books that you read on marriage. I've heard it being said. So viewers, if you are not read books on marriage, there are many books that relate with marriage, with dating and other things. You have to read them so that you can have insight and experiences. And on this channel, now we are bringing, he has read a lot of books, she has read a lot of books, she has read a lot of books, I have read a lot of books too. So we are discussing now. Those books are going to also influence what you are saying. So you can keep coming to this channel. You're going to be getting a lot of value for your time, and that will help your relationship. No partner, no Mr. Perfect and no Mrs. Perfect. There's a story that I read in a book. I read that book many years, and I was even telling my wife that she should go and thank the person that wrote that book. That because that I was deciding that should I go ahead, should I not go ahead? But what that person said in that book made me to decide that this is where I'm going. And that person I'm talking about is a book by Matthew Ashimolowo. So I told her to go and thank him. Honestly, my television world, you don't know that that book influenced my own. I just remembered. And he was talking about in that book, he was talking about, I think, 101 something for women, something like that. So I read the book. I was taking them one after the other. In fact, in my jotter, I have everything. You know, you mentioned the point and explain what the point. All the points I have it. I wrote it down. Like I was telling some people this morning that You have to be writing. When you are doing something, you write that it helps you to concentrate. So he said it in that book. He was talking about Ruth and Boaz. And then he was talking about diamond, raw diamond, crude. So Ruth was like a crude diamond that was not refined. And yet she was even afraid of Boaz. And Boaz still went ahead. And I think many people in marriages today, they want someone that is ready-made. They don't want to go through the process. So when you now go, people that go through the process, you see them, you wonder, this is perfect, this is so good. Many people don't want to go through the process. They want ready-made man, ready-made woman, just carry the person immediately, and the person is doing everything, is working fine. So what is your view about people that are just looking for ready-made? You don't want to go through the process. Maybe when you get married, the lady was in school. You have to go through the process. The man too was in school. You go through the process, and the process can now become what it became. Some people are now, they don't want to enter any process without any man, but they want a man that is just at that end. That's what they are praying to get married to. And we have, on the girl side, you have people like that. On the man side, you have people like that. So what is your view?
I think that's one of, like what we said, that's one of the cause of the divorce in marriage. When you have a vision of the man you want to marry, and the only vision you can see is that the man that is rich, that have this and have that. I will use our home before say another experience, someone that's very close to me. Now, in our home case, I said it is NC, finished my OND trying to go to the university there. It's not during university that I proposed to have, maybe she didn't remember. It's when I finished my ND working at Living Faith Church. She's doing her ND there. That's what take to almost 10 years before she said yes. But you will discover that immediately I finished my NYC, she's in her 400 level, 500 level there. So I have the plan that we are going to get married immediately she finishes her NCE. I finished her service too. So I have that in mind. I didn't discuss that with her, but I have that in mind. But immediately she finished that too, she have the same thing in mind that this is what is going to happen. And then we are the one that starts Landmark Secondary School there. I start with Lebi Victory Nursery Primary School with 15,000. And that's what we start with when we get married. Wow. From there I moved to Landmark Secondary School, 20,000. That's what, and it was so funny. My case was so funny that I'm still living with my elderly sister. That the week we want to get married is the day I paid for 2-bedroom flats. Is the day the two of us come to Ilorin to buy some little things we can buy. I remember we bought 4.5 bed. We got fridge. We got one plasma. It's not plasma now. Standing box, a box, television, and a stood, and we get rug. That's all you can see in our house. But if you come, I remember a scenario, one of our deacons in the church, this is very short.
We have a similar experience.
This very short. The day she wants to sit in our, my wife was so, but we enjoying doing that because it's well known to the two of us that this is our beginning and we are not going to end it there.
End up with that beginning.
So that's how we start. And another thing, then we have for almost 1.5, close to 2 years, we don't have children. With my background, every of my family know that you don't dare ask me questions. They know because you don't know what the reply is, so they don't ask me. They even find it easier to disturb my wife than nobody through that period. Nobody asks me, and I know it's for a period. It's my wife that is being disturbed. That then we normally fight. You didn't even say go to the church. I said you are just disturbing. He said go to. I won't go to hospital. I won't get to hospital and they will now telling me what I don't have. I won't. Because I've had that mindset. If I get to hospital and they say you have low sperm count or something, that's the problem you'll be carrying. So it's better not. It's God that designed me. You know the reason why. So if said children are coming, welcome. No. And as we go, a lot of things happen. And why am I saying this? The month that my wife got pregnant, that's the month I got the job I'm doing now in the University of Ilorin.
Wow.
I was also, first of all, given the job at primary school then, at July. And my wife got pregnant and that. So it means during the time that she's not pregnant, God knows that there is nothing to take care of that child then. So that's it. If you start together, if you pray together, if you do everything together, that Lord always knows how to work things out for you. He knows. He knows. So it has been God and Lord all the way. Has been God. Because if you look at so many things and you see what happened, you will know that it can only be God. Then the other story I want to tell you, one of my uncles, I won't mention the name because I don't know people that were there. That was the day she came to our house in Umaru, and my sister and two other siblings that are working. He just asked them that question that, how do you want your husband to look like? The one said this, the one said it, the third one is my concern. He said, I want my husband to have a car, to have a building, to have this, to have that. He was mentioned. I just sat down. Ní wọ́tọ̀ wà ní environment lọ́n rorú nǹkan tí I just felt bad. Irú mentality wo ni ọmọ yìí ní. But that day I want to call her to change her orientation. But being pé ọmọ ọkọ sister mi ló jẹ́, she said I should. But what was the story? The first wedding, she was able to get that person. But the wedding is not up to 3 years. Why? I got to know later that the guy is into all this armed robbery and some other. So the guy was later called. I think the guy is still in prison up till now. And have a child for that person. Now, up till now, she didn't get herself. Why? Because of a mindset. She didn't have the belief of starting
from the beginning, from the base.
So what she didn't want to do, she later now do. But by the time she now doing it, she's now regretting it. So that's why I said it's not always. Some people may be lucky that way without any problem, but it's only God that can decide that, not you to decide, or me. It's God that can decide.
In summary, in most cases, most people have to start from.
Start
together and build.
Yes, but that's what makes the marriage more attractive and more meaningful. Yeah. When you start together.
Sorry, sir. In another scenario, we have some people whereby maybe the wife came from a wealthy family, or the two of them. Do you understand? Maybe the two of them, yes. Or like. I don't know if I tell my husband about the lady. Like the parents of the lady are wealthy, but the husband's side, I don't know much about it. But based on what the lady told me, I don't think. So, but the parents of the lady said everything they need, they are going to support them. But like the husband is working with the father in the father's complaint. So I don't know in that scenario. I don't know.
No, there is nothing bad in that, man. Okay. There is nothing bad in it, but that marriage will work if God says.
Working is.
That's what I'm saying. It will work when God says the two of them supposed to be together. So. But if you put 100 of that on ground, you hardly see 10. Because there is what we call inferiority complex. Let me give you an example. Sorry, this wedding I went to the village, and we are now talking about our uncle that the wife built, and she said she's not going to live in that house, and because of that, they are living separately till tomorrow. 2 things. She said the wife is building, and he didn't tell her until the video. I said that's what makes it beauty. If my wife built and she didn't tell me until she's finished it,
surprise you.
I will take it as surprise. Thank you, my dear. God bless you. Why do you get the money? I hope
That has created a lot of.
That's what I'm saying. That's the individual person. You know, about 5 of us that were family. I won't mention it because it's a life thing.
Yeah.
My wife knows that. I didn't discuss with her. I'm just saying it just for an experience. Some of my brother, they are saying that what the man did is right. It take me time to convince them that you better be careful. You are seeing your wife as a partner. When immediately you married, you are one. If my wife is more richer than me, I don't see anything bad in that. I'm even praying for that. Because I see the two of us as one. How will my wife build? And I said, because he's build, I won't go and please build you. So that we to me.
Yeah, it's
And
inferiority,
until we
yeah.
get to
Ego issue.
level, it's ego issue. There was a time my wife is doing his PhD. Someone called me and said, how will you say your wife? I said, what's so big about that? It's even good for me to say doctor and doctor Mrs. What's so special about that? But some people don't see it that way. That's why I said, God made that marriage to be so. But if you look, is human being, we're always like that. If the husband don't feel like that, you will definitely see someone that will forcing his mind. You don't need your wife
Right
to
side.
do that. Wanting for real, shaking it. I tell people, let my wife use my brain. The only thing is that let money
Come.
that will make me enjoy and my children will enjoy comes in. Because immediately we get married, I've seen us as one. And nothing till tomorrow can change that. Say you get it, man. But when in a situation the husband and wife don't see it that way, there is no way the problem will not be coming. I pray that Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Now, I want to thank you, viewers. Thank you for your time. And we'll be on this for close to 60 minutes. And then we'll be rounding up in a short while. But before we round up, we want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not subscribed. Also like this video. And if you have questions or comments, you can ask in the comment section below. I want to thank you, Sir and Ma, for your time with us and for sharing your experiences with us on this channel today. And I know that viewers have really gained value from what have been shared. And I want to encourage viewers and everyone to keep tuning into the Families and Relationships YouTube channel so that you can get to know how to stabilize and move on in your family. Now, before we go, I would like to ask 1 or 2 more questions. Now, talking about the planning in the family and everything, I want us to go a bit into the area of food. I want us to look at the area of food. In some places, the man goes to the market. In some places, the woman goes to the market. In some places, the man knows how to cook. The woman doesn't know how to cook. If in a marriage, a partner doesn't know how to cook, usually in Africa, it's the wife that should cook. Let's assume that the wife doesn't know how to cook. What should the man do after marriage? What do you?
The Lord will help us. I'm a good cook anyway, and that's been helping me because I've been since another funny things about our marriage is that I don't think after 2 years we have living together.
7. We did not live it together a year.
A year, so we have been.
So except ASU
strike, and even by the time we had problem in 2015 and primary school. They did that one I stayed maybe 7 or 6 months at home doing nothing anyway. It's my wife supply everything. Everything, the school fees, the food and everything. The only thing I know to do, where to do that is to watch film. And when they come back, they should know that she will need food because I will have food there. So what I'm saying is that there is no. I'm a type of person that is hardly there is any food I don't eat, and it's hardly there is no food I don't know how to cook. Like for example, since a woman, I like eating pounded yam. Every time we are doing pounded, just cook it, I will pound it. I like it. So I don't need to disturb us on pounding it. But the other time she know that I like it, she bought it. I said, you are just wasting your time. I don't use pando yam. The yam I'm eating myself. Machine. She
Machine.
Finally, I said, you are just wasting your money. Don't use it for me. I will pound it.
Processor. That's one.
She bought it. So are you getting it now? So in our case, anybody, anytime she's feel relaxed, I get to the kitchen, I cooked. But as a man, it's a job. It's only when I see that she's really, so I just feel like assisting her. So if there is no food and she don't know how to cook, and I know, I should be able to teach. If there is food that I feel she knows very well and I want to know it, she should be willing to teach me. Because in teaching me, she's going to benefit from it. And anytime she wants to do that type of food and she was unable to do it, I should be able to help her to do that. So in the area of food, I don't think we have any problem. Except if my wife wants to see one or two things.
The serious issue is from home.
Yeah, it's a serious issue in some home. I think most issues in marriage, from what you have said, it boils down to understanding.
Understanding.
It's understanding. When you have
Understanding.
a particular understanding, when something happens, you interpret it.
You interpret
Properly.
it properly.
So if you have a bad understanding, if something happens, interpret it otherwise. Like I wanted to ask, I've had that story that a man will be providing in the family. Day one, where year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5 in the marriage is providing. Then let's assume that the woman is not providing, the table turns. Somebody say by day 1, the woman will provide, he won't talk. Day 2, day 3, day 4, but say by day 4.
I've just give you an example of my own case now.
Yes,
For 7 months, I
what,
didn't do anything.
yes, that was what made me to remember this. The person say by day 4, the woman will see herself as the husband. That she can even buy a goosey for the man, but I give the man, I say the man
It's just the
should
grace
sleep.
of God anyway. Then another thing is, anything, sir, let's just God direct and help us. You know, there are some men too, they are troublesome.
No.
I know that I'm not working. So whatever my wife gives, I should be able to
So
eat.
go with it.
Not that my wife is struggling to prepare,
you are
and she
ready
gave
for
me
talking.
a bar. And I said, I'm
a-
not eating
it's
a
a
bar. It's pancreas.
Daddy,
You know,
I love what you.
Indirectly, I'm giving her unnecessary
Yes.
pressure.
Pressure, yes. Know how she will complain.
So know how
Complain because
the
because
person will
I'm a
complain.
salary earner.
I'm a
And
salary.
the moment I collected the salary, I will have calculate everything. Look at the calendar that within this days, this is what children will take to school as provision, because I would not like anybody to know that we are passing through anything.
Anything at home.
Okay, this is what we are going to eat in the morning, this is what we are going to eat in the afternoon and the night. So if the husband is not the type that's demanding for unnecessary,
This morning I want
it
to
will
eat
affect
is egg and bread.
the economy. It will affect
So
the
it will
money that
affect
is
and
coming.
the
No, the
will-
woman with voice
You
out.
will, the woman will force out. You understand,
Yes,
sir?
and that will cause
And that will definitely cause the issue. And at the end of the day, it's the woman that the people outside will.
yeah, they say it's because he's
Because he's
one.
That is the one that is now working. And the man will say,
You
yes,
understand.
oh my God, serious, he's not responsible. One, collect money. But you won't tell them what you are doing
Yeah, what to do.
that causing those problems. Though it's fast, but I think in most cases, men should be the one at fault to get to that level.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you for granting this interview, and at the same time, I want you to give our viewers what final advice do you want to give people at home, whether they've been married for some years or they're just preparing to get married. What advice do you want to give?
Two
them?
things. The first thing is that let's make God to be the center of our wedding. If you make God, He is more than able to take control. Then secondly, to my own personal perspective, I don't think that marriage is always a bed of roses. There's always some times that there will be up and down. The only thing we always need to pray is that God should always help us to come out of it without any stress. Don't think that your marriage should always be positive. The devil will never allow that. We never. It's you that you now work as much as possible to walk out of it. And the last is that let's try as much as possible to avoid third party. If you have been doing it, try the other. Anything that you want to do. That's why the two of you are sleeping on the same bed. Wake him or her up. At that particular time, your voice is up. And that's the only time you can truly talk to each other. Because at that particular time, you will mind what you say. You won't want another person to hear what you are discussing. I pray that Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
Amen. So viewers, I want to thank
You
have something to tell you.
Just as he has said, you should just make God to be the center. And as a wife, a wife should be someone that can pray very well. Because if thing is working out, you need prayer. And if thing is not working, you also need prayer. So a woman should be someone that can pray and be in the spirit always. That will really help. If you are in the spirit, before things happen in the family, Holy Spirit will have to tell you that something is coming. Pray about this, pray about this, prepare about this. So if a woman is a praying woman, it will help the family. And at the same time, a man should not be someone that will be slumber. And whenever the wife tell the husband also that my husband, this is what I see and this is what the Holy Spirit is saying, the man will also be join her together with the wife and pray it together.
Thank you very much.
Together, stay together.
We want to thank you for your time that you have spent with us today on this channel. And I'm very sure that viewers at home are going to benefit and watch and use it to make their own marriage to stand very well. So I want to thank you once again for coming, and I'm sure that next time I will call on you for another interview like this, you'll be pleased to grant us the interview. So until next time, when I bring another content and another interview on another family, viewers, I want to say bye-bye. Let's say viewer bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks.